So it's a fresh morning and I'm going to go ahead and button up my brake drums, and I did get the emergency brake reconnected. So this is where the end of the brake cable comes through the drum. It comes over to here and this is where it reconnects on the other side. So it tucks underneath that little holding arm right there, that little curve in the apparatus that holds the spring cable in place. Connects on this left hand side, the rear of the drum, and everything is tightened up. This is the little bushing and the piece that holds the cable to the lower control arm. It's all in place, and so I'm going to climb under and just kind of show you how these pieces route underneath the van. And that way, if you ever have to mess with anything, this is not an alien landscape. You'll kind of know what you're looking for underneath here. So let me climb under and show you how they reconnect to the central cable that goes up to your handle up front. For reference purposes, now I'm on the driver's side looking at the back of the brake drum. The previous shot was the passenger drum. So right here you can see how the cable exits the drum connection, and then it comes up. It hits your mount on the lower control arm. And then on the driver's side, the cable is longer. So this one has a first hanger right here, which I've just replaced with a fresh one. The previous one was rusted out completely. This is the shroud that's above the muffler. So it goes behind this shroud right here and then comes out the other side. So it comes through here and it hits this is a clamp. These clamps, to loosen these, you just unloosen that bolt. This clamp would drop and it'll allow you to pull your cable through the frame. This one's not attached yet, but this is going to be the one that connects for the passenger side. So it comes from your drum off of the lower control arm right here. It's going to come up and hit its first hanger right here. That hanger is going to clamp onto this hard sleeve on the passenger side, and then there is a secondary hanger right here. It's going to go through the frame right there and clamp here, and then it'll go through the frame again up here. All right, so I've got these all tightened up. This is your driver's side connection. It's interesting because they've kind of color coded these. That is a black cable, and then the passenger side is a red cable. You're gonna know the difference too when you put this stuff back together, because the passenger side is much shorter as far as the cable goes. You'll notice it's gotta go through those two holes and then come out the other side. They're gonna connect to this apparatus right here. So where you have these two locking bars on the end of your steel cables, they're going to slide through the back side of here. You're going to have to twist this steel cable enough to where it'll go through that back slot, and then it'll lock into the hole. And something of note as well, you have these little black grooved plastic nuts. They're going to have to slide up inside these receivers on both sides. So you've got one here as well. So those will keep the cable from rubbing and chafing and everything else. So the cable slides back and forth inside that. Let me go ahead and set the camera down and I'll wrestle these things in place, and then I'll show you the finished product once it's all together. Okay, so there you have it. That is reconnected to the front. And just so you know, I'll point out a couple of other things. This is your single cable that's coming from the handle up at the driver's compartment. So that cable coming through, you've got the same kind of lock here. If you ever have to disassemble anything, same lock. It's holding the cable right there at that hard sleeve. Comes in, same kind of connection here. You would undo that little locking bar at the end of the steel cable. I put my spring back on. There is the driver's side connected. You can see the plastic nut is locked into its place. And then same thing over here, passenger side, it's locked in place too. So that, folks, is the connections of your emergency brake cables as they run down to the rear brake drum. Hope that's helpful. Little quick overview. If you ever have to get into it, it won't be such a strange thing. See you next time.